Hey guys, I need to give a shout out to SeatGeek for sponsoring this video. If you're unaware of what SeatGeek is, it is an app that lets you buy tickets to concerts, to sporting events, to any sort of major thing that you want to get a ticket to. And what it does is it shows you a map of the tickets listed across all different websites, and it shows you which deal is a good deal and which deal is a bad deal, so you know if you're getting ripped off. So if you download the app and you want to go and use it to buy tickets, make sure you use my code COOGS at checkout and you will save $20 off your first order. Thanks, SeatGeek. All right, guys, welcome back to another roster update prediction video. Before we get into the roster update section of this, I just want to let you guys know about something that is going to be really cool, and it's going to be happening next week. If you guys have never heard of a podcast called This Week in MLB The Show, it is a weekly podcast where MLB The Show content and news and just like kind of people talk about the game, how they feel about it, and just, you know, it's a podcast dedicated to the game. It's not run by SDS, it's run by guys from the community, and it's a really well-produced podcast every single week about the game. Now, on Monday, September 24th, so next Monday, I am going to be featured on that podcast, and it's going to be a live show over on Twitch. So I'm going to leave a link to the Twitch page down in the description. You guys should definitely check it out. It's going to be a really, really fun podcast. There's going to be some surprises on there from people you may not even expect, some pretty solid big names, you know what I mean? So make sure you guys go check out that podcast, go check out the page. There's also a survey where you can leave your thoughts and opinions about MLB The Show. It takes 5 minutes. Go ahead and fill that out, and then the results will be revealed live on the show as well. So I just want to make sure you guys knew that Monday, September 24th, I will be live on the This Week in MLB The Show podcast. And yeah, speaking of Twitch, I'm also going to be streaming a lot more on Twitch when it comes to other games. All of my MLB The Show content will still remain here on YouTube, but if I'm feeling like playing Blackout or anything else really, go check out my Twitch page. It's Kooks46. That will also be linked in the description. All right, now that that's all out of the way, I know you guys clicked on the damn video for some roster update predictions, so let's go ahead and get into it. Remember, guys, I only talk about guys I think are going from one tier to the next, so I don't talk about guys like Jacob deGrom, who could possibly get an upgrade even though he's already diamond. I don't talk about that. I just talk about guys who might be making a jump from either silver to gold or gold to diamond or something like that. I do not cover downgrades as well, only upgrades, and if you guys decide to invest in a player that I predict is going up and he doesn't, not my problem. You guys chose to spend the subs. I just say what I think. So I think we can go ahead and get it started right here, guys. I really don't have that many upgrades this week, especially for silver to gold. I'm not even talking about bronze to silver at this point in the season. So let's go ahead and jump into silver to gold. So my silver to gold upgrade prediction for this week is going to belong to Juan Soto. Now, this is the only silver to gold I'm really going to talk about in this video as far as guys where I'm confident it should happen. There's another guy I want to talk about that like it's possible, but it's kind of unlikely. But anyway, Juan Soto, he's a 79 overall silver. He is a Rookie of the Year candidate in the National League, right with Ronald Acuna Jr. It's pretty much just between those two guys at this point, I think. And my vote kind of leans towards Ronald Acuna, but you can't deny the season that Juan Soto is having. You take a look at the numbers he's putting up. As a rookie, hitting .302 with a .417 on base percentage, a .527 slugging, and a .944 OPS. So he's put together a really nice slash line as a rookie. Like I said, he's got 22 doubles, 20 home runs, and 64 RBIs on the season. Against righties, I mean, you look at his card, obviously he hits a little bit better against lefties from his card. 82-74 versus lefties against 72-62 versus righties. Obviously, he's going to hit lefties a little bit better. Now, if you look at his card, +4 on the day on inside edge to righties brings him up to an 80. So all he needs is a +4 to contact and power versus righties, and that will bring him up to an 80 overall. And with his numbers against righties, which I'm about to go over, I think it could be possible. He's got a .302 average against righties, .430 on base percentage, a .524 slugging, and a .944 OPS. He's got 20 doubles and 13 home runs. So right there, 20 doubles and 13 home runs. I think as a lefty, that could give him a power increase to righties right there. 62, bump that up to 68, bump that up to, I don't know if I'd go all the way to 70, maybe. but I think that power versus righties could definitely be bumped up. And then you just remember, like I said about the contact, he's hitting 302 with 83 hits against righties in over 400 at-bats. I think that could possibly be enough to get him up to like a 75, 78 in that range for a contact against righties. So I think a +4 against contact and power with righties could be enough to get him to a diamond. I mean, it will be enough, but I think he could get it in the roster update. So I'm going to say Juan Soto does go gold. One guy that I wanted to mention for the silver to gold upgrades is Yasiel Puig. Now, I don't think Yasiel Puig will make it to a gold this week, but he's hitting a lot better than what his card looks like right now. But you know, I don't think he's going to get an upgrade to his number against righties, and then he's just not hitting well enough to get an upgrade against lefties right now. And if you look at his inside edge, he needs a +16 to both contact and power against lefties to bring him up to an 81. Yeah, maybe you give him a +10 that brings him up to an 80 or a +12, but I don't think Puig has enough. But I feel like Puig should be somebody to keep your eye on, especially going into the postseason, assuming the Dodgers do win that division. It's a very tight race with them and the Rockies, but keep your eyes on Yasiel Puig in the future for roster updates going forward. All right, so that's all I'm gonna talk about as far as silver to gold. I probably am missing some people, but at the end of the day, like, to me right now, gold to diamond is a little bit more interesting. So that's all I'm gonna talk about there. Leave your suggestions on who you think could be going gold down in the comments. I'd be glad to read them. But now let's go ahead and jump into gold to diamond. Now, I'm just gonna jump right into it. Anthony Rizzo, he was a diamond and then got downgraded to a gold and then got back upgraded to an 84. So he is only 1 point off of being a diamond. And I think Anthony Rizzo could definitely get back to diamond at some point this year, especially during the postseason, kind of similar to Puig. We'll see how he plays. But I do not think he's going to get there this week, particularly because in the last 2 weeks, he's barely hitting over 200 and he's got no home runs in the last 14 days. So I don't think that Rizzo will have enough in this roster update, but that's not to say he can't get it in the next roster update or the future ones after that. I just don't think SDS is ready to bring him back up quite this moment, just because the last 2 weeks haven't been as good for him in terms of the power and the contact. So I see SDS waiting a little bit before they bring Rizzo back up to the diamond. I don't see it happening this week. Now let's go ahead and talk about a guy who's making a lot of waves right now. He actually just got injured. I think it was announced this morning that he was injured. I don't know how long he's out for. I haven't read the full information about Trevor Story's current condition, but judging off his recent play, like, Trevor Story has, in some people's eyes, come out as the front runner in the National League MVP vote to go along with guys like Baez and other dudes who are in the running. And Trevor Story is putting together a hell of a season. Now, I know some people are going to bring the Coors Field factor into effect. The dude can still hit on the road, but it's obviously not going to be as good as it is at Coors Field. But either way, Trevor Story is having a killer year, and he's an 82. 82 to an 85 is a pretty solid jump. That's 3, but I'm going to tell you guys why I think he could have enough. So let's take a look at Trevor Story's season. 288 average, 343 on base percentage, 550 slugging, and an 894 OPS. So right there, really good numbers, right? He's got 40 doubles, 5 triples, 33 home runs, and over 100 RBIs. So he's already got like an MVP caliber season in terms of just those numbers. The problem is there's a lot of National League guys that also have similar stat lines. So, but if you take a look at Trevor Story's card right now, obviously Trevor Story is going to destroy lefties, similar to Juan Soto, as we were talking about earlier. Versus lefties is where he's going to shine. 84-90 against lefties, and he's playing up on the day, bringing him up to an 83. So you would kind of look at the numbers against righties to go up if you're planning on him going up to a diamond. Now, if you take a look at his numbers against righties, he's got a 271 average. 271 is solid, but, you know, with a 62 contact, I don't really know if SDS is going to bring that up. Now, you take a look at the home runs and the doubles, 19 home runs and 25 doubles against righties. I see the power against righties possibly being up to like 75 or somewhere around there. I don't necessarily know if they'll touch the contact, but I could see the power versus righties going up in terms of his hitting. Now, right there, you know, that maybe brings him up to an 83. That maybe, by some means, maybe brings him up to an 84 if we're really getting crazy. But take a look at some of the other aspects of Trevor Story's card. He's got 73 fielding, 75 arm strength, 70 arm accuracy. I don't know too much about Trevor Story's arm. I don't know if he's got the best arm for a shortstop. I haven't watched too much of him recently. But he's got a 0.7 defensive WAR. Now, that's actually really good. So I could see a possible fielding or reaction upgrade in there. And the other thing I want to talk about is that he's got 84 speed, but only 49 stealing. This season, he has stolen, He's stolen 26 bases this season. Last year, he stole 7. The previous season before that, he stole 8. So he's tripled his stolen bases this year. I think you can bump that stealing up to 65, 70, possibly even more. So if you think about it, you give him a little bit of a power boost against righties. You give him maybe a little bit of a fielding boost and a major stealing boost. Those 3 things could possibly bring him up to an 85. You figure 1 point for each maybe? He needs a 3 overall increase. I think Trevor Story could possibly get it this week, guys. So that's the only position player I actually have feeling like could possibly make a diamond. The next guys I'm going to talk about are all going to be relief pitchers. And we've talked for months about Edwin Diaz. Now, I'm just going to get this out of the way. I do think Edwin Diaz should be a diamond already. I do think it's long overdue, but I don't see him going diamond this week. I don't see it happening just because, like I said, he should be a diamond in my eyes, but he gave up runs in back-to-back games last week, and I feel like if SDS is kind of waiting for him to have another stellar week or something like that, they would probably give it to him. And last week wasn't his most stellar week of the season. So I see SDS, similar to Rizzo, kind of waiting a little bit if they're going to go ahead and give him the diamond. Now, like I said, I do think he should be there, but I don't quite see it happening this week. Now let's talk about Blake Treinen. I do think Blake Treinen will get a diamond this week. And I know he's got the Diamond Player of the Month card similar to Edwin Diaz, but those Player of the Month cards have been so weird this year with how they're upgrading guys and giving one guy this. Like, it's kind of weird. But I think Blake Treinen should be a diamond off of his stats this season. So let's take a look at his season. A 0.85 ERA. Are you kidding me? He's got an ERA underneath 1. That is wild. In 74.1 innings pitched, by the way. Like, that's not in like 30 innings. That's in 75 innings. That's wild. He's got 37 saves on the season. I believe he's blown 4. So I don't see the clutch changing very much. He's got 94 strikeouts and a 0.848 whip. So the strikeouts per 9 could possibly go up either way. But take a look at this. Blake Treinen hasn't allowed a hit or a run since August 23rd. So almost a month at this point, he hasn't allowed a hit or a run. And before that, he hadn't allowed a run since July 21st. So Blake Treinen basically allows 1 run like a month at this point. It's ridiculous. So I do think the hits and Ks per 9 should go up. And if you look at his card right now, he's an 83. He's playing up 10 on both hits and Ks per 9. That brings him up to an 87. Dude, even if you cut that in half, you give him a +5, that would bring him up to an 85. You give him a +5 to hits and Ks per 9 with the season that he's having, which is, in my opinion, extremely deserved, that gets him up to a diamond. I think Blake Treinen could easily get a diamond this week. And the last guy we're going to talk about on this video is going to be Josh Hader. And I think this is finally going to be the week where Josh Hader goes diamond. Now, here's the thing about Josh Hader. When Josh Hader is on, the dude is unhittable. He's lights out. You can't hit him. But when he is not really when he's okay, he'll get rocked. Like, he's either on or he's off. There's not really like a between sort of thing. So you look at Josh Hader's season, he's got a 2.02 ERA in 75.2 innings pitched. But think about that compared to Blake Treinen. Blake Treinen has a whole point plus some of ERA lower than Josh Hader in the same amount of time. That's how good of a season Blake Treinen is having. But that's besides the point. Just wanted to make that little comparison. Josh Hader has 11 saves, and he's got 133 strikeouts on the season. He's got a 15.8 strikeouts per 9 stat. Let's get those Ks per 9 up on Josh Hader. He's got 20 strikeouts in his last 5 appearances, and he struck out the side in the last 3 appearances he was there for, and that includes an appearance, I forget who it was against, but he struck out the side in 2 consecutive innings. He pitched 2 innings and struck out 6 batters. Josh Hader, once again, when he's on his game, unhittable. Ks per 9, you gotta bump that up to at least, in my opinion, 110. You got to bump that up to 110 as the reliever, the lefty reliever that he is. You got to bring him up. You could possibly get the hits per 9 up too. I don't know. But I think Josh Hader is overdue for a diamond, and I think he should get it. I also think maybe the clutch could go up too. I don't know. But yeah, Josh Hader, diamond, I think he should get it this week. So guys, those are my roster update predictions for the, I don't even know what, like the 21st, 22nd, I don't even know what the day is. But for this week's roster update, these are my predictions. Let me know down in the comments what you think. Do you think that I missed somebody? Do you think I'm giving someone too much praise? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. But yeah, guys, drop a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.